Weather instruments. Today we're going to take a look at 6 common weather instruments that are used to record meteorological data. Let's get started. Our first instrument is the thermometer. Now, of course, the thermometer measures the air temperature, and it uses units such as degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit, or Kelvin. Thermometers work on a very basic principle that liquids expand in higher temperatures. So it's made of a glass tube that contains some sort of liquid. It used to be mercury and is more commonly alcohol. You can see the liquid shown in red on this thermometer. As the temperature rises, the liquid expands, filling more of the tube, rising up towards the top. Our next instrument also takes use of thermometers. It's known as a sling psychrometer, and it's used to measure the amount of moisture in the air. Specifically, it measures the relative humidity as a percentage, or it measures the dew point in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. It simply is composed of 2 thermometers attached to a handle. One of the thermometers has a wet piece of cloth on it, and when you swing this around, the water in that wet piece of cloth will evaporate, cooling that temperature down. And by comparing the regular air temperature to the temperature of this wet bulb thermometer, you can gauge the amount of moisture in the air. Our next instrument will be a barometer. Now, a barometer is going to measure our air pressure, and its units include millibars or inches. Essentially, the barometer measures how much the air is pushing down on the surface of the Earth. This is important because the air pressure has a big impact on whether the conditions will be wet or dry. Our next instrument is a rain gauge. This is simply a cup that measures the amount of precipitation that falls, and our units will be either inches or centimeters of precipitation. The last 2 instruments involve wind, starting with a wind vane, sometimes known as a weather vane. This measures the wind direction, and it's going to be recorded in a compass direction such as north, south, west, or east. The final instrument also pertains to the wind, and it's called an anemometer. It's going to record the wind speed as either miles per hour or knots. And so there you have it, our 6 common weather instruments.